Just wow, it's amazing. I'm so honored and thankful to be here. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you to everyone that voted for me. It truly means a lot. When I was about 4 years old, I would hear my dad's dirt bike start up, and I would take off running to the garage and jump on because I knew we were going riding. I would just sit in front of him and hang on to the crossbar. I'm sure it wasn't the safest thing, but I just loved riding. I loved it so much that things progressed, and I finally got a mini bike and rode the wheels off of that thing. I still have some scars from it, but I loved it. Then I finally stepped up and got an XR75. I rode the wheels off of that thing. Then I got to the point where I was going to go race it at the local county fair. Ironically enough, that race was put on by Rita and Dave Coons. A huge thank you to both of them for having the vision to put on these races, whether it's a local county fair race, a GNCC, or a national motocross race. They've made my life better and so many other races as well. So thank you to Rita, Dave, Carrie, Timmy, and Davey. Appreciate it. After the local county fair race, I continued to ride anything I could just because I love that freedom. So at the age of 16, I finally got a new machine, an ATV. Just like all the other machines I had, I rode the wheels off of it, and I remember talking my parents into going GNCC racing. Things went okay for the first 2 seasons, and by my 3rd season, I had moved up to the pro class. Things were going decent until we got to the John Penton GNCC. I got the whole shot and led from start to finish to win my first overall at just 18 years old. Such an incredible day that I'll never forget. That led to a pivotal phone call from Tony Kellner. Tony was well known in the ATV world for having the best equipment, so I signed up with Tony to race that 93 season. Before we knew it, we started knocking off win after win and got that first championship in 93, which continued all the way up until 99. It was a great run of 7 consecutive championships. So a huge thank you to Tony and Becky Kellner. Also, that 93 season I started racing on Sunday just to get better for the ATV side. So Tony and I got linked up with the guys at Bromley Suzuki. Our initial plan was for me to ride some races and see how things went. But things were going so well that I ended up racing for them and winning multiple class championships all the way up until that 97 season. The 97 season didn't go very well until the second half, where I ended up winning the last 3 rounds in 250A and getting 6th overall. So at the end of that 97 season, I received a call from Joe Bromley letting me know that although things were great up to that point, that they were going another direction and weren't going to be able to support me in that 98 season. I totally understood their situation and there were no hard feelings on either side. So a massive thank you for helping me get to this point to Joe, Bill, and Steve Bromley. Thank you. So that left me with what looked like no ride in 98 on the bike side, but I received a call from Randy Hawkins, who to this day I consider a great mentor and friend. Randy got me linked up with Mike Guerra at Yamaha, and they asked if I'd be interested in riding for Randy's team. I called my great friend Doug Whitmer to see if he'd be my mechanic, and he said, heck yeah, let's do it. So thank you, Doug, for everything you've done in helping me get here. But there was a catch to riding that Yamaha. The catch was that I had to race the pro class, and it didn't take me long to agree and say, why not? So why not race pro ATV for 2 hours on Saturday, and then go race again on Sunday for 3 more hours? So that's exactly what I did in the 98 and 99 season. So at the end of that 99 season, I decided to hang up my boots on the ATV side. It took a few years, but we finally got my first win on the bike side in 2001, which is also a day that I'll never forget. Fast forward to the 2003 season that started out with one of the worst and nastiest GNCCs ever, which I ended up winning. That would be a wake-up call for my competitors. I remember Freddie Andrews telling me, wow, we gotta look at you as a serious threat guy. You're not just an ATV guy doing okay every now and then on the bike. So that gave me a ton of confidence that I carried on to the rest of that season, which ended with my one and only bike championship. The next several years, I had quite a few wins and ended up finishing second 3 times, which kind of hurts, but oh well. So at the end of 2010, I decided to hang up my boots on full-time racing. I look back on this and have no regrets. It was an incredible run, and I got to meet so many awesome people and see so many great places. Once I retired from racing, I decided that I still wanted to be part of the GNCCs and part of the track crew, helping out, trying to give back some knowledge that I have learned. That job might be tougher than racing, so my hat's off to Jeff Russell and his track crew. I hear Carrie J laughing over there. So that led me to my next venture in racing, which started off in 2016, and I'm still doing that to this day. I'm the team manager for the Coastal Gas Factory Racing Team. A huge thank you to Scott Kiger and his family for taking a chance with me and starting this team. And to the new owners, Denny and Amy Patterson and the Patterson family, thank you. A massive thank you to all of you. Also, I need to thank John Hines and Auntie Callanan and the K-Team group for continuing to help me, to help the next generation of racers chase their dreams and their love for riding just like I did. I also need to mention a few other key people that helped me get here. Jeff Miller has been a lifelong friend that I can always send to the nastiest mud hole or hill climb on the track. And I think there's been a few times where he may have sacrificed his body for me to get a little bit of traction to get through. So thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, and his wife, Bobby Joe. And the rest of my crew has been there for me since day one, like Ronnie Wilson, Donnie Wilson, Bob and Ron Allison, Craig Greenwood, and Sean and Tina Remington. Thank you. I need to give a special thanks to Mom and Dad for sacrificing so much, helping me be the man I am today. Thank you. Thank you to my daughter Ireland. You don't know how much inspiration and drive you've given me since the day you've arrived. Thank you to my son Talon, who gives me inspiration and still wants old dad to be out there with him training and chasing his dream of racing GNCCs on his e-bike. And last but not least is my ride or die. She didn't get to see this part of this. I let him proofread it, but she didn't see it. My wife, my number one supporter, Kristen. They say behind every good man is a great woman, and that is 100% true. Kristen has stood beside me every step of the way for the last 31 years. I have 98 national wins, but there was only one of those wins that she wasn't by my side. So that means 97 times she was right there with me when I won. So if it wasn't for you supporting me, and I wouldn't have achieved so many great things. So thank you, Kristen, for everything that you've done through all this craziness and all the ups and downs. Thank you to all the great people that have helped me through the years, and thank you to everybody back at these tables right here. It means so much. Thank you.